Welcome, my people. My name is Marcus K. Jr., and we are back with another episode of We Need to Talk. Now, today's subject matter is rescuer mentality. What is rescuer mentality? What does that mean? It's embedded in the title. When you think of a rescuer, you think of somebody who is seeking or looking for someone who needs their help, someone who needs support, someone who needs assistance, someone who needs, period. And you identify as that person to help them get their needs met, to provide them with that support, that nourishment, that help, right? Now, is support a part of being in a healthy relationship? Yes. Is help a part of a healthy relationship? Yes. But there comes a point where imbalance creeps in, and you can find yourself over helping, over supporting, and over sacrificing to the point that it becomes to your own detriment. And that's when rescuer mentality becomes a thing, because it's predicated upon imbalance. The search becomes not for a partner to reciprocate, but the search becomes for those people who are struggling, who are in need, who are high-level takers, to give to them, to help them, to bless them, to lift them up. And that becomes your dynamic. Shout out to everybody coming in through in the room. I see you, Nancy. I see you, Dawn. What's going on, y'all? Allergies killing me. So this becomes the dynamic, right? And you hear me talk a lot about imbalance and fear. And when we think about the rescuer, let's take it back a little bit. You know, the rescuer is born out of imbalance. You may have been, if you identify as a rescuer, or you think you may be, you know, a lot of times it comes from households that have love and attention based on your ability to give and provide help, support, nourishment to someone other than yourself. So it's born out of being shown attention and or love by devaluing or deprioritizing your own values and focusing on someone else. Younger siblings, ill family members, handicapped family members, parents. Maybe you were a child who was held responsible for the emotional needs of your parent. Being parentified at a young age can create the internal environment and set of core beliefs that lead to eventually thinking that true love means that I have to give. My love is measured on how well I can rehabilitate, how well I can support, how well I can provide finances to, how well I can devote all of my energy to. And the problem with it is because it's difficult to detect where the line is, because a lot of these elements find themselves even in healthy relationships. Your partner's down, you help them get up. Your partner's going through, you provide the emotional support. So if this is the case, it becomes a very weird space, because where do you draw the line? How do you know personally if you're over giving and over sacrificing, or doing what is healthy for a relationship. And that comes the problem. Latasia, excuse me, what's up? Good to see you. So I think a lot of people this is where a lot of people struggle. And again, if we're bringing it back, people pleasing comes into this. When it comes to people pleasing, I trace that back to abandonment, issues with abandonment, right? A fear of abandonment. Because you got to look at the basic mechanics of people pleasing. What does it mean? It means that you're doing things for approval, doing things for people to validate you, people to hold you at high esteem, or to value you. And you are almost a chameleon. You can maneuver different, you can speak different, you can act different in order to get that validation and in order to avoid shame and ridicule. But really at the deeper level, it's to avoid being abandoned. So you create friendships that are one-sided. You're the person who gives to create the friendships. You provide all this support, finances, emotional support, all these different things. You lead with the giving. You lead with the giving, and then you have connections, right? But then in the back of your mind, you never feel really safe and secure in these friendships because you don't know what they're really friends with you for. Was it for what you provided, or was it for you? Very hard to tell, because the dynamic started with you giving. You gave before you were able to see who these people were. And then you bend over backwards to maintain relationships that are one-sided. So you create all of these one-sided relationships to where you're the majority giver. Then there's a conflict. The other person's wrong, but then you find yourself apologizing. You're the first one to bring it to the table. You're the first one to resolve the conflict. You're the first one to bring, the communication and to be the mature, the adult one, the bigger person. It's always you. You ever look at that? Somehow it's always you that has to fix it, maintain it, keep it, give in it. You holding all of the chips. Sounds like a one-sided relationship to me. But you do all of this and you bend over backwards because you're sensitive to the abandonment. And the ironic thing is, by treating people in this way, you cause the very dynamic you're afraid of. You cause the abandonment. Why? Because even though these are your friends, they will either abandon you by virtue of a fight, a back and forth, and then they just seem to throw the friendship in the trash can. Really don't care much about it. Or they'll abandon you by virtue of disloyalty. So you'll find that you're the most loyal person in the world. You got their back, you speak highly of them behind their back, whatever, in front of their face as well, even solid friend. But they don't view it like that. They don't treat you the same way you treat them. And behind scenes, trashing your name, spreading rumors, gossip, just trashing you behind the scenes. So the abandonment you were scared of initially, which caused all of this, you ran right back into in a deeper way, in a different way, because they abandoned you as a friend. They could care less, because at the end of the day, they may benefit from you, but they don't respect you. They don't respect you because you didn't demand respect. Anything that happens, you buckled, and you tried to be that bigger person, but in essence, a little bit of that bigger person was laced with a fear of losing the person, or fear of losing somebody, or the fear of abandonment itself. So you again, the fear cycle strikes again, and it puts you in a situation where you are running straight into the very thing you've been running from. your whole life, right? So that abandonment sensitivity is very real, and that love blueprint from your early childhood or your family environment is very real when it communicates that your value comes in what you can do for somebody else. Because if that's where your value is, you're doing that all day, but it's not getting you anywhere. So that love is still very much elusive. So you almost find yourself in a merit-based conundrum where it's like, okay, the more I give, the more love I should get. But it never works out like that. And to add insult to injury, the very people that you overgive and sacrifice for, bend over backwards for, give 150% for, cheat and leave anyway. So the abandonment comes again. Infidelity is a form of abandonment, and ghosting and just leaving a relationship, period, leaving you for somebody else. That's obvious abandonment, right? So the value isn't in what you do. And then here's a lot of times what some people do too. They find out that, okay, I'm giving, it's not working. So next time I date somebody, I'll reverse it. And I won't give nothing. So again, imbalanced thinking, right? I'm going to go from an over extreme of giving all the way to the other side, not giving a damn thing. I'm going to let them give to me. I'm not giving them nothing. What ends up happening is when you do that, you find your way right back to abandonment again. Because the problem is, if you have chosen not to give anymore, how are you going to find a partner who is okay with dating someone who don't give them nothing, who don't give of themselves, who don't communicate vulnerably, who's taking that? So you find yourself trying to date people with that's afraid approach or that wall approach where you show me first. Show me what you do for me first. When you move like that, as a response, you don't get nowhere either. So now we find ourselves in the pendulum effect, the back and forth. The back and forth and not feeling secure on either side, because on the one side you're having issues and on the other side you're having issues. So what exactly do we do to balance it out? Main thing is to number one, to know that it's a gradual thing that has to be rewarded. You have to now create a reward system based on overcoming the fear or any action you do against the fear, because the fear can push you into so many extremes and none of them will work for you. You will never feel fulfilled, and you will largely be subjected to that emotional reasoning that you hear me talk about, where it's like, fear can kind of keep you trapped and captive on one side of the coin and on the other side of the coin, and no sides of the coin. You benefit from no side, heads or tails. You don't benefit at all. So you conquer fear by slowly working against it, slowly being disobedient to it, because it's pushing you in places that aren't good, and it's pushing you towards people that aren't good and away from people who are good. And that's the other element to it as well. A lot of times, with rescue mentality, the thought process is, or the complaint is, okay, I can't find anybody who reciprocates. then when somebody does reciprocate, it kind of scares you a little bit. So then you're moving with fear again, even in the face of the very person that would be most helpful and most healthy regarding partnership. That's the worst place to be in the world, because the old way don't work and you too afraid to go the new way. So there's really no space to be in, and that's really where the self-work comes into play. That's where the anti-fear campaign comes into play. And it's really, it's not a thing about removing all fear to the point where, you run into the street without looking both ways, and you're out here not using condoms, just all of that. Like, just we don't want to be completely fearless. However, we don't want fear to drive the car. It can be in the trunk. It can be in the glove compartment with a locked up, where we know where it's at. We can get to it when we need it. But some of us have fear in the driver's seat, with the seat pushed all the way back to the back. Just no knee room. Nobody can sit in that back seat. Just lean, just headrest all in the back windshield. Just mad husky and overwhelming, all in the and foot on the pedal through red lights. Just stop. We don't need that setup. You either gonna crash or you're not gonna move at all. It's just gonna be haywire and imbalance, and never benefiting you in the long run, never getting you to the goal in the long run. So it's about taking control and managing one step at a time. Don't expect to be rescuer one day and then take off the firefighter gear and quit that, and then just be savage the next day, or to think that you can just find balance in 24 hours. This is not what it is, because you're actually going to be leveling out subconscious programming from young ages. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something that is an easy fix, but it's something that you can create a routine of consistency. This is what I'm an advocate for: being consistent, on a daily basis, and celebrating your wins when it comes to the relationship between yourself and fear, and how dominant it's been. Because again, the only way to create the permanent changes is to create a consistency level that doesn't stop. Because you can't play with it. You can't do it for 10 days and then be out. Just similar with like diets and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You starve yourself. You're going to fast for 3 days, and then that's going to cure everything, or that's going to rebalance things. It may help, and then it's not. And because, you can't juggle the ball back and forth. It's one of those things where, it's not perfection every day, but it's effort. It's effort. And celebrate those wins. Let's say you're on a date or something. Red flags pop up. Just get up and leave the table. That party's like, nah, because what happens is when the red flags start to come up, start to minimize those and maximize other elements, and you get into this warping phase where the fear of not having this person or not having somebody comes into play. And then this person looks like perfect for the rescuing, right? They mention not having no damn money. They mention all of these tragedies, hardships. They live in behind a 7-Eleven. This is it. I got somebody I can save. I got somebody I can bring back to life and get nothing out of it. I'm ready. And then you got to stop yourself. Like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna give you some referrals though. I'm gonna hold you down with, some businesses, some organizations that can really get you on your feet. You feel what I'm saying? I know some people. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna hand you some cards and information to get you some resources, some SNAP benefits, and somebody to we gonna get you to level. We gonna get you to level up through them. No, over here through them. Not over here. We got, some therapists. We got you. We're gonna get you covered. You know what I'm saying? Pass them my call, Rap the Marcus or something. You know what I mean? We got the coaching thing. We're gonna level up. I'm here to level it up. We're gonna level it up. But you better not volunteer for that job. And when that creeps in and you feel yourself start to rationalize sticking around or second dates or moving forward, and just cut it loose, just stop it, break out. And then sit with that, see how that feels, and then say, damn, take yourself out or something. Go get a damn massage, because that's a victory. You got to understand, because you're changing your mindset and the way that your mind works and the mechanisms and all the little inner workings of your mentality and your emotions and the matrix within that and how everything is interconnected. Fear don't pop up for no reason. Fear is popping up because you've been listening to him. That's why he in there like that. You've been validating him so long. He just like, I'm okay. You got another one? I know what to do. Your emotional response system is so ready for this process. It's been happening year after year. You hate it because you're not getting what you want. So in turn, as we start to turn the tides and start not rewarding fear with obedience, but rewarding your anti-fear based action with actual rewards to incentivize the change as you start to kind of just move and create a different way of life for yourself. So, man, for all of my rescuers, you dig? I got love for y'all, man. I know what you're doing. And I get it, it makes sense, but you don't benefit, and that's the thing about it. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for your progress, your personal benefit. Because what is the point in being in a relationship if you're not benefiting? You know what I'm saying? Then it's a volunteership. Then it's a charity ship. It's a help out. It's a come on out. We're doing a build a partner fundraiser, and we're getting all of these potential future possible spouses on their feet. So won't you come help out for 5 years and just give. Won't you give, 10% ties and effort and won't you give a car note? Won't you help pay for some of these bachelors and bachelorettes to get right on your dime? Let them help out. Won't you come? My fine Christian individuals, just come on, do it. God loves, and so that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. Nothing wrong with giving every now and then, but not for that to be the totality of the relationship that you're in. That's not mutually beneficial. It's not reciprocal, and you deserve to have your energy reciprocated. If you're a giver, you deserve to be give back to without pulling teeth, without consistently having to remind somebody or trying to dating for potential and trying to create somebody, build somebody into what you need when day one they were never that. There was never a bone in their body that represented them being a giver or giving back to you or sending energy back your way. Because in essence, a lot of times there's no room for that. A lot of times with the rescuer mentality, you create and condition your partner to constantly receive. and you enable them to continue to take, because when they take without giving, you never leave the relationship. You might argue with them, you might complain a little bit, but you stick around and you keep giving. So what does that do when it comes? Let's just talk kids. You tell a kid, hey, stop that. And then they don't stop it. And then all you do is say, stop that again. The next time, they still get snacks. They still get candy. They still get to stay up late. They still get to play the tablet. What kid you know is going to shape up and be like, you know what? I need to get my stuff together, and start listening, and and get what 5-year-old is doing, what 7-year-old is doing that without the consequences. So a lot of times, a lot of these partners, you like, man, your mouth ain't matching your actions. You saying you love me, but you ain't doing it. The mouth, the words ain't matching the actions. Same with you. I'm talking to my rescuers. Same for you. It's the same thing. It's the same energy. Why y'all think y'all connected? Your words ain't matching your actions either. You say you don't like how this person ain't reciprocating. They're not carrying any weight. They're not putting in 100%, but you still in the relationship at the end of the day. How do we justify it? So, again, yeah, Nancy, I see that. My bad. But yeah, forcing the issue, doing things like that. You know what I'm saying? And really, again, my thing is now when 2021, it's kind of unbelievable when you think about it. And I do believe that now is the time for all of us to get our voice, all of us to get our return for investment, even if we're not even with the people no more. We put with all of the work that you put in, all of the energy you put in, all the time you put in, everything that you put into these relationships over time, friendships and relationships, family ships, everybody ships, right? Everybody's ships done sailed. You done blew with your own breath to make the whole ship go. You're exhausted, tired, years on end, no return, nothing to show for it. We're done with that. So everything now forward, you make sure you get that return back, but you do the internal work to make sure that you can recognize that who is what, who's for you and who's not, who's reciprocating and who's not. And don't always, because I'm always an advocate of sitting on that bench for a while, right? And getting ourselves right. But if you're going to put yourself in a dating space, just know that don't let your emotions run the show. Because fear will put on a magic show and make you feel like that's for you. Up is down, down is up. That's for you. That's not for you. And the feelings can't be the reasoning. You have to have tangible, whether you wrote it, whether you created it, whatever you did, a tangible, idea of what you're really looking for. So when that emotion tells you yes, but your blueprint and your printout says this is what you did. So if this ain't this and it ain't matching, be out. It's as simple as that. You do that enough times, it'll feel right, but you got to get yourself used to it and get out of the space of allowing the emotions and the fear and the traumatic events and all of those different things to kind of rule the romantic domain and the dating domain, because they will put you in that same spot every time. I'm telling you the truth. So I got you guys back. So shout out to everybody who came through, including pollen and allergies. Thank y'all for coming out. Shit, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get myself right. But happy Mother's Day. Again, belated to everybody. Hopefully you guys got a chance to check my last broadcast. Definitely, put some dedications in the airspace for all of you mothers and all of the dedication you put forth. Definitely, it's very much admirable, very much worthy to be noted. And I appreciate all of you, as well as that SWV versus. Definitely check out that broadcast as well. On my channel, man, we got a chance to debate, beforehand, did a little pre-show. That actual versus was excellent, best one by far for me personally. I needed a concert in my life. I never got to see either one of them, and I felt like I got that. I probably got to watch it a second time. But shout out to SWV and Escape, the whole versus situation. If you are looking for individual coaching, or even couples as well, in the dating realm, life purpose, mental health, physical health, any of those things, definitely click the link, www.patreon.com/happinessdecoded101, or tap into the link tree in the description. You'll be able to subscribe here. Definitely make sure, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe on YouTube. Happiness Decoded 101, all one word, and as well as the virtual wellness platform. That's a part of that comes with the coaching. So if you're interested in checking that out, definitely hit the website up. And if you feel like donating, that's much appreciated as well. So all of you guys, have a safe night. Continue to progress. Again, your progress is my priority. Any kind of way, any kind of angles and situations and things that are arising, I want to talk about it. I want to put it in context for you to be able to have the self-awareness, to have the breakthroughs, and to be able to see things for what they actually are, so that you can conquer them, so that you can overcome them the same way you've overcome the other elements of your relationship timeline and the other events of your life. Like, I think a lot of times we forget the victories that we actually have in our chronological timeline. Like the turning points, milestones, the things we got over, the things we got through, the things we fought through, the times that we stood up when we felt like, we were knocked down or taken out of the game. We need to reflect on that sometimes when we feel like life is crazy, it's too hard. Why I ain't getting this, that, and the third. Like, you have greatness within you, and you've exemplified that multiple times, whether other people saw it or not, whether other people acknowledged it or not, and whether you low-key remember it all the time or not. We need to keep that in the forefront. There's nothing you can't handle. There's no space of manifestation you can't reach. And now is the time to allow it. Now is the time to accept what's coming for you, and get ready for that. Prepare, clear the path, spring clean, prepare the space for the thing that's coming, or multiple things that are coming, that you have asked for, that you have desired, that you have prayed for, that you've put energy up into the universe for. It's all on the way, and it's waiting on you to get right. It's waiting on you to accept it and step out of that fear space and be able to allow those great things to happen. Finally, as a culmination. And then you'll want more, and more will be available, and you'll be able to just continue to be in that cruising altitude and keep flying high throughout the process, learning, growing, and staying positive and happy the whole time. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m.